Welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report here at Cider Games. It has been a while since we had our last video come out. Holidays, small children make it difficult to schedule games. This will be the last video for 2023. My plan, however, is in January of 2024 to go back to my old schedule of one video every 2 weeks. So that is the plan. Things are starting to, get under control here. We're getting some schedules and routines down for the new baby. So I think I can manage that in January, but with the holidays coming up in December, I don't think it's worth trying to do that any earlier than January. So this will be our final video of 2023. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, even though we haven't had a lot of stuff coming out recently. But glad to be back and looking forward to getting back in the routine. But today, we have a 1,000 point mission using the Leviathan mission pack. And we have deploy servo skulls as the objective, which I've not done before, but all of the objectives in No Man's Land, which are the one here, the one in the center here, and this one right here, are servo skulls. And if you control them, you can move them up to 6 inches in any direction. And at the end of your turn, any servo skull, whether you control it or not, that is within a certain range or within your opponent's deployment zone, scores you points. So I think it goes 2, 5, and 8. So 2 if they're within 12, 5 if they're within 6, and then 8 if they are wholly within your opponent's deployment zone. And that is cumulative, so add that up. If one is wholly within somebody's deployment zone, you actually get 15 points for that servo skull. So that's pretty cool. And we have Crucible of Battle as our deployment. So we have this corner and this other corner over here. And I'm playing my Tau Sunars because I love them. And my opponent, Cadian Sergeant Steel, has brought the Cadian 707th. It's my favorite matchup in the game. That's why I wanted to do it for my last video of the year. Tau versus Guard. So you've been going to a lot of events lately. I honestly, and I talked to you about this before, I literally haven't played since the last video that came out. So it's been a while for me. I'm a little out of the loop. So what are your thoughts right now on the state of the game since it's been so long?
I think it's phenomenal, actually, and it's going to be a little bit controversial, but the reason I think it's phenomenal is because we can clearly see that every army functions. Mm-hmm. Maybe not every list, but that's right. Step 1, make every army functional. Step 2, make all the units within that army mostly functional. And I think we're there, and it's a lot of fun. And then GW has just announced some new Crusade material coming out. So we're also seeing a lot of support for the game and all the ways to play. Yep. So I think this might be the golden age. Yeah.
Sweet. Yes. It's exciting times. I love this game. I'm glad I get to play it. I'm glad that I have, I'm fortunate I have this whole room and space to do this. So thanks to your support, I get to do this kind of stuff, and my wife lets me do it because it is working out pretty well so far. But all that being said, let's take a look at the armies. This is exactly 1,000 points of my custom Talsept Sunars, and in charge today we have Skyfire, my Crisis Battlesuit Commander. She has 3 fusion blasters and a pulse rifle. She's accompanied by 2 shield drones and her entourage of Crisis suits. They each have 2 fusion blasters, a missile pod, a shield generator, and 2 shield drones. So they're all set up, ready to deep strike in and cause some trouble. She does have the Exemplar of the Koyan, so Koyan kicks in for turn 2 for her unit, so they'll come in out of deep strike and have the effects of Koyan, which is pretty exciting. Additionally, in the HQ realm, character realm, we have a Cadre Fireblade leading this squad of Fire Warriors. They have he has 2 gun drones, and the unit has a shield, or not a shield drone, I'm sorry, stumbling over my words, it's been a while. They have 1 gun drone and they have a Guardian drone, so they are -1 to wound, which is pretty cool. And then he also has the Pure Tide Engram Neurochip, so once per turn, a stratagem that's been used on another unit I can still use on his unit, which is pretty cool. So command rerolls, anything like that. Then we have 2 more squads of Fire Warriors. They just have 2 gun drones each. A broadside with a twin-linked smart missile system, heavy rail rifle, 2 shield drones. He also has the battle suit upgrade, I think that's what it's called, so he can fall back and shoot. In the back we have Long Strike, so who's just a tank ace in our thing, but he's got a big old railgun and some smart missiles. He does also have 2 seeker missiles, which are not modeled on there, but they're free, so I gave them to him. And then I have a Riptide there with the high yield burst cannon and a smart missile system. So that is exactly 1,000 points of Sunar's Sept. Pretty rare. I don't have any stealth suits, which would have been really great for this mission, but I decided I didn't want to bring them this time. So we have kind of a smaller footprint for 1,000 points, just a few big models with some troops to back them up. But let's look at the Cadians. This is also exactly 1,000 points of the Imperial Guard. Astra, Militarum, you know, all that fun stuff. What do we have here?
So today we have a very fast infantry heavy reactionary force. We have leading today Cadian Sergeant Steele, acting as a Cadian Castellan with Grand Strategist, so he'll be issuing 2 orders. He'll be paired up with a Cadian Command Squad and a 20-man blob of Cadian shock troops with melta-guns and flamers and drum-fed autoguns. Cool. So that'll be my warlord and his bodyguards. Then we have another Cadian Castellan with a power sword and a las pistol with a Cadian Command Squad as well. And he will have drill commander. For that gives my units critical hit on a 5+.
That's good.
So he'll be making this blob, which is exactly the same otherwise. Hopefully getting more lethal hits and more sustained hits. Yeah. Then coming back, we have a Hellhound with the Inferno Cannon and a Heavy Flamer. It's always fun to burn some Tau.
Yeah.
For the very first time in 10th edition, I am playing an Armored Sentinel. We have the Autocannon, the Hunter Killer Missile, and the Sentinel Chainsaw on here. So hopefully be running around harassing the Tau with that. We have 2 Scout Sentinels with Heavy Flamers, Hunter Killer Missiles, and Sentinel Chainsaws, because why not? Then, always bring something quirky and fun. So we got the Rapier Laser Destroyers. And these are basically 2-shot, twin-linked las cannons with only -2 AP.
Yeah, weird, but cool.
Weird but cool, and hopefully they'll have some fun today. Yeah. And then, I think also maybe my first game ever in 10th, the Field Ordnance Battery with the Bombast field guns. So I brought those today just to try out, have some fun with. And mostly I just wanted to bring something a little different. And hopefully some units that I can just practice remembering all my rules with.
Yeah, remembering the rules. It's so much fun when you get to do that.
It is.
I'm certain, absolutely certain that I will forget things because I haven't played in so long. But I'm very much looking forward to it. And as always, these models are beautiful. I'll put some links, you know, in the video description if you want to see more beautiful pictures of his beautiful models on his Instagram, Cadian Sergeant Steele's Instagram and YouTube. So check those out as well. But that being said, let's take a look at deployment. We have deployed our armies for this battle. The Tau are the defenders. We're over here in this corner. Basically, my deployment is the infantry are up as... Actually, everything I really have, I guess, is basically up as far as they can on the deployment line because we must get to these objectives in the middle to move them to score because the home objectives don't score us any points for primaries whatsoever. They'll only be good for the mission cards that we flip each turn. So otherwise, like, we're not going to score any points for controlling these. So there's less incentive to stay back and camp that, although, I mean, being back there does give me options to score, but I feel like pushing up to get to these objectives is going to be important. So we have the infantry squads arrayed, the Cadre Fireblades on this flank, and then I have the Hammerhead, the Tank Ace, and a Riptide here in the center. They can both fly, so they'll be able to get up onto this platform if they need to get some better firing angles, and they're in the center so they can go to either flank wherever they would be needed most. That's kind of the plan. I considered this unit that's over here, maybe just putting them on this side and just overloading the center in this one objective, but we've spread ourselves out, see how that turns out for us in the long run. But we do have the Crisis team in Deep Strike Reserve, and the Broadside is in Strategic Reserve, so they are available to come out in later turns to press the backfield of the Cadians. And they have everything on the battlefield, nothing in reserve for the Cadians. What's the plan over here?
All right, so we got the 2 Rapier laser destroyers kind of hiding out so they don't get plucked away turn 1. We got a Scout Sentinel and a Scout Sentinel on the front line, hoping to press forward and really put some pressure on you early game.
Yeah.
Then we got both bricks of 20 Cadian shock troops with their attached leaders here kind of in the middle of the front line with a Hellhound in between. So this is my anti-infantry block. So I'm hoping to just push in and just control the center as quickly as possible. If we can.
Yeah.
We deployed our artillery, our field ordnance batteries, back here, hidden behind these industrial ruins.
Yeah.
Hopefully just to annoy the Tau and their inferior weaponry.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Then our newest unit, the Armored Sentinel, is just hiding out behind this power generator.
Nice.
Just biding its time until it can reach out and touch something.
Yeah, and it's going to be mean to me. Just for your note, these industrial things with the weird pipes, we're saying they're totally blocking for line of sight, so you can't shoot underneath of those. So these guys are basically totally hidden, sitting back there. And this big chunk here in the middle is going to be blocking all the way along this line. We are saying we can shoot under these higher stairwells, but so we do have a lot of line of sight blocking out here to prevent us from just shooting each other to death immediately. But yeah, that's the setup. This is going to be interesting. The Cadians definitely have the speed with the Hellhound and the 2 Scout Sentinels. My speed is basically my Riptide and the Crisis team once they come to the battlefield. And I think with the way this mission is set up, because it doesn't say you can't score on turn 1, so the Scout Sentinels coming up could easily get some points early for the Cadians here. But yeah, pretty excited. I'm excited. But let's roll to see who gets to go first. This is going to be big. It's a big one. I'll let you roll first there.
All right, we tied on who was the Tiger Defender.
Yeah.
So here we go.
That's a 4. That's better than average. What do we get? A 2. Okay. Ooh. It is the Cadians going first. Let's take a look at their objective. These are the objectives for the Cadians behind enemy lines. Not going to get down in turn 1. The tempting target, though, I've selected the objective that is on my left flank for this one, which should make him expose a Scout Sentinel to danger. So that's the idea. I've put out our primary objective here again because this brought up an interesting debate. So you, at the end of your turn, if you control the selected objective marker, the secondary mission is achieved and you score 5 EP. But with this thing, all of this stuff happens at the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, you can move the objective 6 inches, and then at the end of your turn, the player whose turn it is scores VP. So what we're saying is, since they all happen at the end of the turn, you can select the order. So if he controls the objective, he could first choose to resolve this part, score the 5 EP. Then he could choose to resolve moving it 6 inches, and then he could choose to resolve scoring the points. So that's how we're going to play it. I'm not sure if that's 100% right, but it makes sense to us, so that's what we're doing. But let's see the movement phase. The Cadians have made their moves. What is the plan here?
We're being a little overzealous, but we're going to see how this plays out. So we have moved the Warlord and his unit towards the middle of the table. And we did not advance because that's going to keep us just out of line of sight.
Yeah, it's going to save some
most
shots.
Things. Yep. So we have just strategically moved forward. Same with this unit. They gave themselves move. They did not advance. Because they may actually be able to get a few lasgun shots off, but we'll see if they can or can't. Because they might end up getting line of sight to that Pathfinder unit there. I'm going to measure it in a moment. Rapier laser destroyers have also moved out. Hellhound advanced. Scout Sentinel did not advance, but it did move forward. This Scout Sentinel moved forward. So I now have 2 of the 3 No Man's Land objectives. And then the Armored Sentinel moved up as well.
Yeah. And the 2 Scout Sentinels did use their pregame 9-inch move and then their normal move. And that's how they got so far up the battlefield.
Yes.
So that's
good control early on.
Yep. And that's what we're talking about. This is, I've never played this mission, so like going first is big, especially since he can get on the objectives, because he pushes them 6 inches towards me. Then I just push them 6 inches back to him, and then they're back to me again. So it's going to be interesting because we'll have to totally eliminate any units behind the objectives that may continue to push them forward. So yeah, interesting. It's very interesting. I like the dynamicness of this primary objective. But let's go to shooting phase. We are about to do the shooting. Quick addendum to the movement. Decided not to move the rapier laser destroyers out because we were thinking they had a 48-inch range like a regular las cannon, so they could pop out and shoot into my deployment zone, but they only have a 36-inch range, so moving them out, they're not able to shoot anything, so we're friends, so I let him move his guys back. Alright, so they're back there, but going to shooting, starting with the Scout Sentinel. The only thing he has in range, his flamer's just out of range of the Fire Warrior, so he's going to shoot a Hunter Killer into our tank ace.
Yep. Come on, buddy. So we need a 4. We're going to get reroll 1s for Daring Recon.
That's a 3.
Yep, that is not.
You have a command point. You could re-roll it.
Oh God, no, no. All right, so we missed with our opening salvo, but we're going to immediately jump over to the armored Sentinel.
Armored version.
And we're going to do the same thing. Hunter Killer Missile first. Now he's got take aim.
Yep. So he's
going to get hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s.
That's a 2.
God, Emperor, help me. So now we're going to fire his autocannon. 2 shots into him. So here we go. Hitting on 3s. Re-rolling 1s.
Yeah. Okay, that's a hit. That's a hit. Toughness is 10.
Strength 9, so winning on 5s, but I get re-roll wound rolls with an armored sentinel against the vehicle.
Oh, nice.
So here we go. I need 5s. Wow, it wounds. There we go.
Okay. And any armor? AP?
AP -1, flat 3 damage.
Okay. Ooh, flat 3. That's crazy. So this will be a 4-up, which I fail.
Ooh.
Takes 3 damage. All right. I think he has 14 wounds, so maybe down to 11. I'll double check. Next up is the last Sentinel, the other Scout Sentinel. He's going to fire his Hunter Killer Missile into our now 11 wounds left tank ace, and he does have his Flamer in range to hit these guys.
Yep, so we're going to do the Flamer first. Here we go. Ooh,
5. Now these are -1 to wound because of my Guardian drone.
Oh, yes, they are. So here we go. Normally, winning on 3s, but instead winning on 4s.
Didn't help.
I'll take that. -1, 1 damage.
4. I think these are 5-ups. Okay, 1 damage. So 3 guys will be dead.
Woo!
And then Hunter Killer.
Hunter Killer. Oh, come on. Hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. I need better luck.
Re-rolling 1s.
Re-rolling 1s. For Daring Recon. Oh! Still a miss.
Okay. So
womp womp.
The Hammerhead is doing well. 3 Fire Warriors die screaming in fire. Last thing to shoot, the Bombast field guns firing up and over indirectly into that same squad of Fire Warriors that is wounded. No penalties for indirect because of, I'm sorry, what's it called?
Daring Recon.
Daring Recon from the Scout Sentinel onto these guys. They will get +1 to their armor still though, so they'll have a 3-up save base basically, and they are still -1 to wound from the Guardian drone. But with orders, you're hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s, and it's blast, so this is d6 +1 on each of these.
Yep. So here we go. I'm shooting 2 guns, and I forgot they get sustained hits 1 because they have an order, and that's their unit ability.
Yep.
Here we go.
Ooh, okay. 8 is above average.
8, so that's going to be 10 total shots.
Blast.
Yep. Right. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was really good. Okay, so that is going to be a reroll. Still misses, but
you got 3
sustained hits. These 3 are lethal hits.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then these are 4s now because
strength 7, but you're -1 to be wound.
Yeah, so normally 2s. So the 3s wound though, because
they do.
Because I'm toughness 3.
Oh yeah.
-1. Yeah. So that's
wow, 8. 8 at -1, flat 2.
8 4-ups. 8 4-ups. I have 7 guys left. We can make this for the greater good. Oh, that
wow!
What was really for the greater good. Only 1 guy dies in that.
That was sorcery.
The Cadre Fireblade tells us, "Man, go to ground, go to ground," and only 1 guy is too slow. That is the end of turn 1 for the Cadians. They do get 9 points. They scored 5 for controlling the tempting target, Then they pushed it forward with the mission rule, that servo skull, and they pushed this one forward. Both of those are wholly within 12 inches of my deployment zone. So that's 2 points each for those. So that's 4 points for primaries, 5 points for secondaries, making it 9-0. Going into Tau turn 1, let's see what the orders are from Skyfire. Skyfire wants characters destroyed. Assassination. Many characters are on the battlefield, but I have to kill 20 guardsmen with feel no pains to get to even one of them. Probably not going to happen. No prisoners, just kill units. 2 VP per unit destroyed. I can probably pick off a scout sentinel or 2. Let's go to movement. We are done with movement here for the Tau. It was long and arduous, so many decisions. I moved things, moved them back. Overwatch is a thing, and there are flamers all up in my business across the line. That guy's got a flamer. This guy's like a super flamer, and then this guy has a flamer. So I had to be very strategic with my movement to try to keep things alive. What ended up happening, I shifted these Fire Warriors up. There is one of them. Sorry, lost focus with my finger there. Controlling that objective, so I'll be able to move it. I had originally moved the hammerhead up to shoot at that and help control that objective and keep the pressure on it over there. But then I realized this thing is going to just obliterate everything I have, the Hellhound, so I left him over here to maybe shoot at it. I still haven't decided though. I think this is the flank that I have a better chance to control and get points with eventually. But the Hellhound is just, with its flamers, is going to be a real bad news bears situation. So then I moved this squad of Fire Warriors with the Cadre Fireblade. And yes, the Hellhound overwatched. I lost 3 or 4 more, 4 more I think. So there are 3 Fire Warriors and the Cadre Fireblade left over there. They did advance. With my normal move, I could only get 1 in range of the objective, which would have contested it with the Scout Sentinel, so I had to advance. Then the other Fire Warriors shifted under, moving to reinforce this side, because if the Hellhound doesn't die, leaving them or moving them this way just is certain death and destruction. And then the Riptide jumped up on top. So the idea with him is he can fire into this big blob down here and weaken them a little bit. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's see if we can kill anything, because that is our goal this turn. Moving through shooting, this unit over here, there were 6 guys who could see. They fired in, no damage was done to the Sentinel. Then I had a big debate. Should I fire the Riptide in and try to kill the Sentinel, or shoot into this big blob, which is what I really wanted to do originally. If I kill him, I push this out of my zone, and he doesn't score it next turn, but it's, yeah. I'm not going to kill him most likely with the Riptide. I'm going to do some damage over here. Even though killing units scores points, I just don't think I can kill him. So the Riptide is being guided by these guys. They are under there. There are 3 of them that can see into that observer unit. So I'm firing the big gun, 12 shots, hitting on 3s because of the guidance. Okay, that was pretty good. Only 4 misses. And then strength 6. So these are 2s to wound. They all wound. So 8 wounds at AP minus 1, 2 damage.
Okay, so it's going to put me at, I think, 6 up saves. I don't think I get any cover. So, because you are in the terrain that's blocking line of sight to me. So, 6 up saves. Oh no, I only made 1.
So 7.
And they're 2 damage each.
So he does have feel no pain.
So here's my feel no pain. If I get any 6s, I'll just roll. I got 2 6s. So for the first one, I don't.
Dead.
And 1, okay.
Lives. Okay.
So 6 die. Yep.
And then I have 3 smart missiles that will go in. They hit on 3s because I'm guided, so 2 hits, strength 5, wounding on 3s, 2 wounds, no AP on these ones.
Okay, 5 up saves. Make neither damage.
1 damage each.
6 up feel no pains. No, 2 more go down.
Alright, so I've taken out 8. Not exactly what I wanted. But I think I'm not in 15 inches. So I'm going to fire 3 shots, the 3 guys that can see. They will be obscured. So these will hit on 4s. 1 hit, 3 to wound, no wound.
Okay.
All right, I think that's it for there. Now I got to think about the hammerhead. Next up is the tank ace. I did fire there were 3 Fire Warriors under here. They fired into that squad of boys. Again, no damage was done. The drone fired it into the Sentinel, no damage was done. But moving over here to the tank ace, he does have his special ability. He gets +1 to hit vehicles. So we're firing a seeker missile and the railgun into here. We're firing his smart missiles. They're going to go up into there in a moment. But we're going to start with the railgun. Needs a 2 to hit. That's a 6. That would have been good for the wound. And a 2 to wound because it's strength 20, toughness 10. That is a wound. Not devastating. AP minus 5.
AP minus 5. So I get cover from the terrain.
Yeah.
So
6.
that's going to put me at a 6 up save.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so
Woo.
close.
All right, D6 plus 6.
Oh no.
That is 11.
11.
So he is dead.
Does he explode?
Does he explode?
He does not.
Does not explode. All right, but that's 2 VP for killing a unit. My seeker missile is wasted. And I'll go ahead and fire in my other things. They hit on 4s. Indirect. Am I -1 to hit with indirect? Or you're just...
You are...
Since I can't see you.
You are -1 to hit.
Okay, so only 1 hit. 3, it does wound, so 1 to them with no AP.
Okay.
You have cover.
4 up save. Oop, oop, oop. It's a 2.
Okay, so he kills 1 unless you make a...
Feel no pain. Yay!
Okay, so we killed the Hellhound. That is important, but it doesn't necessarily help me score any points right now. But it keeps me alive a little bit longer, I think. But yeah, so I'll get 2 VP for that. I'm not going to score any points for the primaries because I was a half an inch away from getting control of that objective. I was thinking he was still 12-inch move, but he's only 10, so failed to get that one. But we will be able to push these back to reduce the scoring of the Cadians on their next turn. But that's where we are right now. So it'll be 9 points to 2 going into battle round 2. New orders for the Cadians. Extend battle lines. They have moved off their home objective, but they have sticky objectives basically, so they will be able to score that and then deploy teleport. However, that one will be tricky. We are at the end of the movement phase for the guard. A couple things to note. I remembered, and again, this is why it's so great playing with friends. I have Strike and Fade, so I did spend the 2 CP to move the Riptide after he shot, so then he was able to move that... where'd it go? That objective down there. So I do get 2 points for the primaries, actually. So yeah, but I went down 2 CP. Then, at the I am gambling. I'm going to Overwatch into this guy. If I can blow him up, that would be a huge swing. And I get a free reroll with his targeting array, so I have 2 chances to roll a 6. Alright. For the greater good. That's a 1. So I just need the opposite of that with his free reroll. I do get to fire off firing his smart missiles. No, it's okay. All right. It was worth. If I would have blown him up, because the thing is, it's minimum 7 damage. So if I would have wounded him, he would have died. But it was really. I mean, and I was warned that it was silly and wasteful, but I did it anyway. Sometimes you got to take risks, and they blow up in your face like that. All right, but we'll come back with some movement recap. Movement has concluded, which you already knew because we just said it when I did that Overwatch. But yeah, what's going on here? What's the Cadian plan in turn 2?
All right, so of course, as always, we keep our artillery in the backfield, and so they stay still. But we have now moved out the Rapier Laser Destroyers, so they have a good line of sight down this side of the table. Infantry here got move, so they've gone 9 inches forward, getting into threat range, both an infantry squad and your Riptide.
Yeah.
The Sentinel did shuffle slightly just to get some cover behind this this tower here. So hopefully if you want to shoot it later with your Hammerhead, you'll have to move around to get to it. The Warlord and his squad have also moved, and they've gone up into the middle of the table. So they do control this objective marker, and they are also now in threat range of the infantry squad here. Armored Sentinel moved up, and this Scout Sentinel did the same thing and just shuffled forward a little bit.
Yep, there we go. That's it. So yeah, deploy teleport hammers not going to happen, but go in a position to move all 3 objective markers. So that's 4 points at least for the Cadians on primaries. Let's go to shooting phase. Moving into, we did fire some flamers off camera. From both the Scout Sentinels, no damage whatsoever from either one. He rolled 1 hit and he rolled 2, saves were made. And then this whole squad, they've been firing. The las guns that could see fired in over here, took out 2 more guys, and then they fired everything else they could see into the Riptide because they have sustained hits and that kind of stuff. Took one wound off of him. Yeah. So he's down to 13, but now they do have Meltas that they're going to be firing in.
Here we go. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s for Daring Recon.
So 1 hit.
1 hit, okay. Which is about, this was the one that was in Milta range.
Ooh, okay.
So that's a bummer. But
that's a sustained hit.
That's a sustained hit.
So you get 2 hits.
2 hits. So strength 9, your toughness
9.
So 4s to wound. Both wound. But you got a 4-up invuln, right?
4-up invulnerable save. For the greater good. Double 6!
Oh,
he's alive and well.
God!
The Riptide pilot swings his shield back and deflects the heated beam of destruction and survives another day. Next, the squad here in the center. They fired all of their las guns into the fire warriors down there. It killed 2. Now it is Melta time up into big guy.
Here we go. I get sustained hits on 6s, so come on. 6s to wound. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s.
Reroll a 1.
Ooh, come on. Yes! Sustained hit.
Hit again.
Here we go. 4s to wound you. 1 wound. 4-up invuln.
For the greater good. How much is it? It's in Melta.
D6 plus 2.
I have 1 CP. Yeah, I'm going to try to reroll that.
Ooh.
Darn it.
Oh no.
Darn it. For 6.
6.
Okay, he's down to 7 wounds remaining. We did remember the Flamers, actually, in this squad. We hadn't done them before. They fired into the Fire Warriors, took 3 more out. So now we are moving to the Rapier Laser Destroyers. They're firing up into the Riptide, who's down to 7 wounds left.
Okay, they get 2 shots each. Hitting on 4s because I gave them take aim. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they would have... because they get heavy, so they get +1, but they moved. Yeah. So I had to give them take aim to give them the hit. But re-rolling 1s for Daring Recon. So here we go. Let's see if I can pull this off. Now they get no sustained hits or anything.
Right, because they're Forge Worldy.
And they moved, so no lethals. Strength 12.
So 3s.
3s. Both wound, -2.
I'll take my 4-up armor save instead of the invulnerable save this time. And it pays off!
Oh.
The armor deflects the blasts. Yeah! Way to go, Riptide. Way to go. The Bombast field guns fired up. They shot into that Fire Warrior squad down there. There's 1 guy left. So he's not doing great. But our last thing to shoot, is the Armored Sentinel. He's firing up into the Riptide. If he can just get 1 of his autogun shots through, it will bracket the Riptide.
So we got 2 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Roll here.
Reroll the 1.
Ooh, come on. 2 hits. So 4s, because strength 9, T9.
Yep.
Right? 4s to wound, re-rolling failed wound rolls. That's 2 wounds at -1 flat 3.
So these will be
3 ups.
3 ups. Do I get it? I'm obscured. Am I obscured? Does that matter? It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It anyway.
Wow.
All right, so he is making some great saves. That pilot, he's left there dancing on the rails, jumping back and forth, swinging his shield up, deflecting blasts, being a hero to the Tau Empire. But that is the end of the shooting phase. I think we may have some charges coming up, though. There was 1 charge. This Scout Sentinel went in. He did no damage to the Tau. The Tau did no damage to him. I guess I could pile in, technically. I may pile them in a little bit just to move them around. Then this objective got shifted up, so that's going to get 2 points for the primaries. Over here, he left that one with the charge, so it's not moving. And then the big blob in the middle, so you can't be on objectives, so, and partially for strategy too, but so he couldn't actually move it forward back to the middle because all his bodies were on it. So he moved it this way. The benefit here though is now I have to go out of my way to try to get it to maybe score some points. So good call on that move right there. But with the 2 points from the objective that did move and 5 points for extend battle lines, because sticky objectives are a thing. That brings it to 16 points for the guard and 4 points for the Tau. So let's see, Tau turn 2 objectives, if we can get some points on the board. Objectives for the Tau. Secure no man's land, control 2 or more objectives in no man's land. That might be possible. And then defend stronghold. I need to control my home objective. Movement has concluded. So I'm feeling, not too terrible about this move, because we got some good stuff with our reinforcements. These guys failed their combat attrition test, so they're staying in combat. This lone fire warrior passed his, so he jumped up so he can get a few pot shots down into these guys. Shifted the tank ace back. He is within 5 inches vertically and 3 inches horizontally of my home objective, so he is defending my stronghold currently. This squad of fire warriors shifted out. 3 of them are in range of that objective, so I am controlling that objective for secure no man's land. The Riptide jumped down. He's controlling that objective, so I am scoring secure no man's land with those 2 units. Then I brought in the Broadside from Strategic Reserve. He's controlling this objective, and he's going to be able to put some shots into those Rapier, Destroyer, Laser Beam launchers. And then Skyfire and her troop fell in right here. So they all can target these guys, and Skyfire can see back into the Armored Sentinel as well. So we're controlling all 3 no man's land objectives, so we'll be able to move all of them. So I should score some points on the primaries. I'm threatening the backfield, and my home is in relatively good shape right now. My fire warrior squads are in a lot of trouble all around the board. These guys are really hurting. This guy's down to 1, obviously. So yeah, our goal right now is to kill the backfield stuff. If I can kill the laser destroyers, the bombast guns, and then maybe one of the sentinels, I'm going to feel pretty good about myself. And I should be able to put a pretty good dent into the already wounded unit of guardsmen right here. So that's kind of the game plan. Hurt the guardsmen, kill the backfield, take out a sentinel, score some points. Let's go to shooting phase. First thing we're going with is the Broadside into the Rapier laser destroyers. The Cadre Fireblade is like just able to see around the edge and around this thing to get an observer onto this. So he will be hitting on 3s with his heavy rail gun. He hit with both. Strength 12, toughness 4. Yeah, so 2s, both wound, no devastating wounds. AP -4.
AP -4. So I don't think even with cover I don't get a save.
Yeah, because yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'm only 4 up save.
Okay, so yeah, AP, yeah, you would be at a 7. So these are D6 plus 1.
Kills both.
Okay, so they are dead. His smart missiles were going in there as well. Nice shooting. Way to go, observing Cadre Fireblade. That is a big relief to my Hammerhead. Moving through the shooting phase, we had this bigger blob of fire warriors fire into the guardsmen there, observe with this guy observing. They took out 5 or 6, I don't know, they're down to, I think there are 3 of them left. Is that right? 3 regular guardsmen?
I think you took out 10.
Okay, so they're, yeah, between these guys and him firing in, I think there are 3 regular guardsmen plus all the characters left in this unit. Did spend a CP to go to ground though, so they have +1 to their armor save. It's also worth mentioning 2 CP were spent on reinforcements, so the Rapier laser destroyers will return. But moving along, we are firing the Riptide into that unit, being guided with these guys. The Crisis team is guiding the Riptide. So the Riptide is guided, they're observers, firing everything, smart missiles and big heavy burst cannon into that squad, hoping to take it out utterly. So this is 12 shots from the burst cannon, hitting on 3s. I dropped 1. Want to grab it. Oh my gosh, I didn't have extra die in my pocket.
Ooh, it's pretty good.
That's really good. Only 1 miss. And then these are 2s.
1s. Oh, darn.
No 1s. So that's 11. AP -1, 2 damage.
AP -1, so it's going to put me back on 5 up saves.
Save 2.
2, that's
not great.
Super not good.
And they're 2 damage each.
Oh, so here we go. Let's do Feel No Pains first. I fail all.
Didn't make any, so 11 single wounds go through.
Well, I saved 2, so 9 go through, so it kills the squad. Then that kills the command squad, and they're flat 2 damage each, right?
Yeah.
And I think that leaves my warlord on 2 wounds.
The warlord is left on 2 wounds. All right, we got 3.
And then you got missiles.
Smart missiles here. Hitting on 3s. They all hit. Strength 5, so 3s. They all wound. No AP on this, though. And 1 damage.
Okay. 5 up save. 4 up save, because cover.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Fell 2.
2. That's just 2 more damage. Is the medic alive?
No.
Okay.
So I had to kill the medic first.
Oh, yeah,
so that's going to kill the warlord.
Took out the squad. Nice shooting. Skyfire jumps in, points, and says, "That's the one. Take him out." And the Riptide has been MVP so far. Don't want to jinx it, but Riptide has been doing some work. Next up, our 10 case. He's going to split a little bit of fire, firing the railgun into this Scout Sentinel, and his last Seeker missile into this Scout Sentinel. We'll start with the railgun over here, hitting on 2s because it's a vehicle. That's a 3.
Winning on 2s?
2. It is a 4, AP minus 5.
I don't think I can make a save because I'm only 3 up.
D6 plus 6, so he's only got 7 wounds, so he'll die no matter what. Does he explode?
Do I explode?
No.
I do not.
Okay, so we take out a Sentinel. Firing the Seeker missile. This is only on 3s. 6 hits. Strength 14, so 2 still because they're T7?
T7, yep.
And that wounds as well. AP minus, it's 3 or 4. I'm not 100%.
If it's 3, it's a 6 up save.
Okay, we'll see if he rolls 6.
Oops. Try it again. No.
It's a 4, so does he explode?
Oh, how much is the damage? What's the damage on it?
It's D6 plus 1, so yeah, I need to roll that one. But it's enough.
Oh my
7
god.
wounds.
I explode. Does a mortal wound.
Just a single mortal wound.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the Fire Warriors will go down as the Seeker missile comes in and shrapnel flies out and takes out one of the Fire Warriors. So this turn has gone literally as perfect as humanly possible. And we're going to look to put the nail in the coffin here. Skyfire is firing everything she has into the Armored Sentinel. The rest of the team firing over here. Because she's exemplar of the Koyan, they do get Koyan and sustained hits. So she's going to fire and hitting on 3s into the Armored Sentinel. We'll start with the 3 fusion blasters. That's 5 hits.
Oh my god.
Strength 9, T8, so 3s. So that is 4 wounds at Melta AP. So does he have he has a 2-up armor save?
2-up armor save.
So he will get a save.
6 up.
Yeah.
6 up saves. Hope I can make all of them. I make 9.
And it's 4d6 for dead.
Oh
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright, so now we'll fire. There are 6 fusion blasters from these guys. These guys will hit on 4s over here. No 6s, but we got 3 hits with the fusion blasters. Wounding on
T4.
2s. So 3. I'm guessing no armor save.
Can't make a save. So damage
is.
That's enough.
Yeah, death to these guys. Wow. The reinforcements coming in huge here for the Tau. That leaves only an infantry squad for the Cadians. We're going to get 5 points for securing no man's land. We're going to push this objective, push this objective. I think both of those will score me primaries. Push that one, which will not score me because it just got pushed back by the Cadians. But things don't look good for the 707th. At the end of Battle Round 2, we've moved our objective, so I get 2 points for this one for primaries, 2 points for that one there between the Crisis team and the Riptide. This one also moved, but it's not scoring anything currently, so that gives me 4 points for primaries, 5 points for securing no man's land, puts me at 13. So going into Battle Round 3, it is 16 points to the Cadians, 13 points for Tau, and they're going to have this squad, and they will get the Rapier laser destroyers back with the reinforcement stratagem. So let's see what objectives the Cadians can draw. New objectives for the 707th. Bring it down. Take out that Riptide or the Hammerhead must be done. And then no prisoners, just kill stuff. There are a couple small units that could be picked off. We're moving through the Cadian turn pretty quickly. So they all move to get into range. They're about to do some splitting of fire over here. This side, these guys came in, it is battle round 3, so they can come into my deployment zone, and there's enough space. So they're up here looking to take out the Hammerhead. If he dies, I don't get Defend Stronghold. So that's a 5-point swing just by killing him, plus all the victory points they get for killing him. So over here we have all of the las guns and drum-fed autocannons going into these two guys. They have 4 total wounds, and then everything else, flamers and meltas, will go into the broadside. Starting with the las guns, etc.
Yep, here we go. Drum-fed autoguns, las guns, las pistols. Here's all that.
Many. With sustained hits, that was 28 hits. So -1 to wound, so these are 5s to wound. Looks good. 10 wounds go through. I've got 4 wounds left. 4 up armor saves for the greater good. I see 3, 4, 5 fails, 6 fails. Okay, so they're dead. You take out a squad, that's 2 points for no prisoners. Now we have the flamers and meltas in here. We already rolled the flamers, no damage was done, but now we've got some meltas. This is important.
Hitting on 4s,
but sustained hits.
Sustained hits. So come on.
They're both sustained hits. They get the sustained hits on 5s because of the
Drill Commander.
Yep.
That is phenomenal. So that's 4 meltagun hits. So wounding you on 3s.
3 wounds.
-4.
3 6s or d6 plus 2. Make no saves. So this is minimum 9?
9.
So if you don't roll all 1s, okay, so he dies. He does not explode or anything, but you take out 2, and that guy is worth 5 VP because he is a vehicle with 10 or more wounds, because shield drones add a wound to they add a wound to the unit profile. So he's a 10 wound model. Gets him 3 points. So that's 5, 6, 7. It's at least 7 points for the Cadians. They're making their presence felt, even if it is a small footprint. Last thing to shoot, Rapier Laser Destroyers. Again, if they take him out, that denies me 5 points for Defense Stronghold. This could be a big swing.
Here we go. Hitting on 5s. No rerolls of any kind.
1 hit. Not going to be enough. You could CP reroll. If you get 2 through, you could kill him. 1 will not kill him. I mean, that's a 10-point swing. You'd get 5 points for no prisoners and bring it down. Plus, I don't get 5 for defending Stronghold.
Yeah, I might as well try. So here we go.
I think it's worth it.
No.
That is a 4. Okay, so he will not die. But
this is twin linked.
Okay, sweet.
A wound on 3s. That's a wound. Okay, so -2.
So 5 up, which I fail. D6 plus 1 is 3. All right, down to 8. Still in good shape. So at the end of the round, the Cadians get 5 points for killing the Riptide, 2 for no prisoners, plus 3 for bringing it down, 2 points for killing the infantry squad, the Fire Warriors, for a total of 7, bringing them to 23. They did shift this objective 6 inches, but it is not scoring them anything. And then they don't stop me from scoring Defense Stronghold. It's only worth 3 points. I keep saying 5 because I'm thinking of the old Defense Stronghold, but it's only worth 3, so I get 3. Puts me at 16. The Cadians at 23. So 23 to 16 heading into Tau turn 3. The Cadians only have 2 units, but again, they have enough CP. If I kill one, they can bring it back with reinforcements. So let's see if I can score any more points. Objectives from Skyfire. Overwhelming force. Kill that unit of Cadians on the objective. Behind enemy lines. The Crisis team is there. If I move the Riptide, I should be able to get that too for 5 more points. We have concluded the Tau turn. We did some smart missiles and things like that into this unit. Took out a few guardsmen. I did fire the big railgun here. Took out 1 of the Rapier Laser Destroyers in the unit. This guy advanced. He rolled a 5, so he was able to jump down, get on that objective, and push it forward. These guys advanced back to lend some firepower back here in this corner. For behind enemy lines, I shifted the Riptide into the deployment zone, shifted the other guys up a little bit. So that was 5 points, plus that no man's land objective is wholly within the opponent's deployment zone, so it's worth 15. So I got 15 on the primaries, plus 5 on the secondaries, plus my Defend Stronghold that I just had on the other turn, puts me at 36 to 23, I believe, for the guardsmen as they head into battle round 4. Objectives for the guard. They drew capture enemy outposts, spent a CP to ditch that because they could not score it. Got overwhelming force, kill a unit within range of an objective, which also goes into assassination, kill a character. So the tank ace is a character, and he is on an objective, so that would get some major points if he could go down. The infantry squad moved forward, pressing the advance. They do still technically control this objective, even though they're not within 3 because of their sticky objective rule. So they, per the primary ruling, they should still be able to move that objective, which we're letting them. They fired in some las guns, no damage was done. But now we have 1 rapier laser destroyer left. Didn't move. You used overlapping fields of fire.
Yep.
So it's got an additional AP. So it's going to be hitting on 3s with sustained hits.
Or hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 4s, sorry.
Yeah, hitting on 4s and twin linked. So here we go. I need these hits.
There's a 6
That's
and
a lethal.
4. Ooh, lethal.
So
is it sustained though?
No, it's not sustained. So that
and now auto wounds though.
Auto wounds. So here we go. So to wound on the next one, I need a 3 because strength 12 and I'm twin linked.
Okay, so
2 at -3.
2 6s now. Ooh.
Yeah, that feels a fire.
This is big. All right, 2 6-ups. I don't make them. Is it worth spending? I don't think. I have a stratagem. I think it only works on battle suits to get a feel no pain. I have 3 CP. I'm going to reroll one of these just because I think this will stop you from scoring points.
Yeah.
So even though it's a low chance. Okay, no. Okay, so 2d6 plus 2. Need to get 8.
Ooh!
8. I don't think his explosion radius is big enough to hurt you, but... Okay, no explosion.
No explosions.
He goes down, so that is assassination and overwhelming force. So that'll be several points. At the end of battle round 3, it is 38 points for the Cadians, 36 for the town. They got overwhelming force and assassination, and 7 more points for this objective because it's wholly within 6 of my deployment zone. Next turn, it will score them 15. But I am going to be getting 15 for the primaries at least this next turn. But the question is, can I do enough damage and score enough secondaries to get a lead, because I haven't actually led yet, and then maintain that, even though they only have 2 units left. Skyfire's new objectives. Cleanse the objectives. Control an objective, basically in no man's land, and don't shoot. I should be able to do that. And then extend battle lines. I have to get back onto my home objective with an advance roll, but if I do that, I should get 10 points this turn. We're at the end of battle round 4. The only thing I had to shoot were 1 set of smart missiles. So these guys advanced forward. I did have to spend a CP because I rolled a 1 on their initial advance. They needed at least a 2. But they got there, so I am extending battle lines by holding that. And I did hold these other objectives back here. So then I shoved some objectives forward. This one went up, got me 7 for primaries. This one, I didn't actually move it, but I don't think it's going to matter. Got me 15 more. So I got 22 for primaries, 10 for secondaries. So we do have the lead now. Was it 37 to 36? So 46 and 22. Ooh, 68 to 37. But the Cadians will get 15 for primaries with that one. So they could score up to 25 points right here. But it's not... What's keeping it close is the fact that I'm going to max out my primaries at 50. So I can only score like 4 or 6 more points on the primaries. So depending on secondary scoring and how many more primary points the Cadians can get, this could still be close. The objectives for the Cadians: cleanse and area denial. There's a chance for 6 or so points here. Let's see what they do. We are in the closing moments of battle round 5 for the Cadians. Shifted up here. These guys shifted up. Not cleansing anything, so forgoing the points because even if they get the max points they could score, it was out of reach. So everything fired in. There are 2 fire warriors left with their drones. I actually already fired Overwatch into them, didn't kill anything. So they're going to charge. Try to take out this unit. Need an 11.
Need an 11, come on.
That is a 10. Yes, CP. He's got some CP left.
Oh, it's just live on camera.
Yeah.
Let's double check the measurement.
I moved them.
It does need to be an 11.
Oh.
You are 11 and like 1/8. So 1 CP.
1 CP.
Oh, nope. Come on. Here we go. For the Emperor.
Oh. Okay. So they don't get to slaughter me. You do not cleanse anything. You do get 3 points for area denial.
Yep.
Because I don't have anything wholly within 6 or something. I don't remember. There's several ways to score area denial. 3 points for the Cadians. But I don't think it's going to be enough. We'll come back with a score recap here in a moment. So calculating all the scores for the Guard, they end up with 56. Looking at the objectives for the Tau, I would score 3 points on my secondaries. I would max out my primaries with 7 more points, putting me at 78. So as a final score, it would be 78 to 56 for the Tau in this one. Yeah, the Cadians started aggressive, moved up. They fell right into the Koyan of Skyfire. She is the exemplar of the Koyan, patient hunter. So we'll let you jump forward, then we leap the crisis team. The broadside leapt in behind you, surrounded you, and eliminated the threat. Only a squad of Cadians and 1 rapier laser destroyer survive. They will retreat from the battlefield as the Tau encircle this area and take control of this region. So that was really a cool game. The final score, I got out of hand a little bit there, and we were talking about that. Like this mission, the primary mission, what is it called? Something about servo skulls.
Deploy servo skulls.
Deploy servo skulls is amazing. If you have not run this mission yet, I definitely suggest it because it changes the dynamic of the game significantly. Most of the primary objectives in the Leviathan deck are like generally the same. It's about getting on an objective and holding it with some like slight variance. But with this, you have to move the objectives towards your opponent's deployment zone. So you have to constantly be moving with them if you want them to score. And we were talking off camera how like I was able to blow up his backfield because he didn't screen for it, but you couldn't screen for it because if it was screened, then your stuff wasn't pushing forward to score points.
Yeah.
So it really kind of changes that dynamic of the backfield, and the fact that your home objective doesn't actually score you any primary points in the game. I mean, you need to hold it for secondary things and stuff like that. But yeah, it doesn't actually score you any points. So there's no primary objective reason to sit on your home objective. Made that really, really an interesting game. What do you think? Yeah,
especially your play of it was really great too, because I was trying to really put damage on your Pathfinders, but you were still able to pressure the middle of the board, move the Riptide into the center, and just right. So you pushed back on my wave, crushing forward, and it worked. It was effective. Even with some of your units being dwindled down to 2 models, 3 models. One unit with 1 model remaining scored you several points.
Yep.
And the other thing is too about this game, even though I lost by
22, I think
22 points. It could have only been 19 if I chose, but I knew I was losing, so I went for glory instead. But the other thing about it, like if you look at the table, you're down to just 3 Pathfinders, your Riptide, and the Crisis Suits. So it was still close in terms of like models and kill count. Sure. And had you just failed, as you should have, a couple invuln saves, the Riptide could have been gone.
He was, his saves were incredible. His shooting was also incredible.
Oh, yeah.
They're Fire Warriors for those people out in the world.
Sorry, Fire Warriors.
Yeah, not Pathfinders, but that's okay.
They're all blueies.
Yeah, they're all just Xenos scum to the Imperial people. The Riptide should have died legitimately. I mean, on that one turn, I made 4 out of 6 saves to keep him alive. My saves were really good. And we were talking again, turn 2 for the Tau. Literally the best turn I've ever had in any game of Warhammer in any edition. Literally everything I needed to happen happened, plus all of the bonus stuff. And I know I've mentioned this before. Like I always have here's the best case scenario for this. What I'm doing on this turn, but if only if A, B, C, D, E happened, it's the best case scenario. But if only A and B happen, I'm still going to be pleased with the turn. But literally, everything worked perfectly, and I destroyed every unit in his army except 2 on that turn.
Except 2.
I killed the Hellhound on turn 1, so it wasn't there. And then this 1 unit of guardsmen. Every other unit in his army, in his whole list, I killed on turn 2. I killed all 3 sentinels. I killed the infantry squad. I killed the the bombard cannons. I killed the rapier laser destroyers.
Gone.
Literally every single unit was destroyed on turn 2. So that's a big swing when you can take out your opponent's like whole army. Because the broadside came in. I expected he would kill 1 of the rapier laser destroyers. Both of his railgun shots went through, killed them both. Skyfire and her team took out the armored sentinel and the bombard guns. What are those called?
The field ordnance batteries.
Field ordnance batteries, sorry. Took those out. The Riptide and the Fire Warrior squad down there took out the infantry squad in the middle. Then the coup de grace, the tank ace. He is a tank ace. He's not just a random dude, okay? So he killed the scout sentinel over there, and then you've all seen the video, so you know this, but it's fun to recap. I was like, I'll just fire my seeker missile into this other, scout sentinel over here. I'll maybe do some damage, but probably won't even hit. And then they have 7 wounds. It does d6 plus 1. I rolled a 6 and took it out. So
pow.
Literally, took out the whole army. And these guys, he had spent the 2 CP for reinforcements on those, so they came back to life. But yeah, that was wild. And again, the score, I won by 22. Again, you could have easily scored 3 more with cleanse, made it 19. But the reason that the score got out of hand, that objective scored me over 30 points in the last 3 battle rounds. Because it was 15 points on turn 3, 15 points on turn 4, and then I was at 7 more points, maxes me out on primaries. So that with that scoring 15, that gets the score, pumps the score out of control really fast. So it was, I think, closer than that final score kind of indicated. That was a great game. I really enjoyed that. I hope that you enjoyed it too.
I did. That was awesome.
All right, awesome. Cadian Sergeant Steel. I'll link to your Instagram and YouTube in the section here below the video, so check him out. His models are ridiculously beautiful. Let me see if I can focus. And he builds these cool things like this rapier laser destroyer that you don't see every day. So really cool stuff. Check out his Instagram and YouTube for more stuff from him. Very, very cool stuff. Highly recommended. And yeah, thanks again for tuning in to Slider Games. This will be our last video until 2024, but in January we're going back to our every 2 weeks there will be a video schedule. So hopefully you hang in there, stick with us for that. And as always, have fun.